stuff is.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So we're live now.
Is it all coming back?
No, it's like the I had so much problem with the climate thing. If it weren't for the fact that we had 3 feeds running into it, we'd have got nothing.
Yeah, well, that's.
I mean, it was like
We had 3 going for the last one, and David's didn't come out.
yeah, no, it just.
I used. I think I used yours for that one.
Anyway, did you get my audio file that I sent you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. I'm going into the station tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Tuesday, for Earth Day program, and then I'm going to talk to him about possibly editing that audio for radio, like we did with the January 23rd one.
Right.
Put a program together. Hey, Sally. All right.
So I went to and when I got there, they had these all standing up. Welcome. Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
Hey, Don. Good seeing you.
I thought you were sweeping the floor in the back. I saw you standing over here and then over here.
I am. That's more my speed.
Yeah, I noticed that Chris somebody. Google work.
Well, I still love it. I'm not sure what I put in my body. It'll be a good test. I got a flight at 5:30 in the morning. But I'll have to get up at 3 and get down. So as soon as I get into California, I'm taking that. Yeah, then I'll be ready.
I can give you that address, but I think you have Sarah on the resident. So I don't know if there's which is why I didn't come back. I thought, well, you were so close to being here, I thought, yeah, well, I don't know.
It's a spreadsheet, but well, there may be a contact number on for her number because they use the numbers. So I could do that. What I'll do is if I get
Like me to make that
so if I just give a one for that person, I'm not gonna, I'll let it go, but if I start to get regular, then I'll.
Well, the other persons I said had that I said about salaries. There was like this, because our
Right. Okay. I have a couple of those where their check has a, like their first initial, and then they come in and they use a different name. So you're like, not sure. Or call it yours. She uses a different one.
Well, see, I get into that too. When I married my first husband, my wife did my last name, so it's Carl Christopher. And so sometimes they don't understand this and they go here. Now we do. Sometimes people call me why, but I never had this name like my second name. So yes, like see how that
It's not critical information. It's not
right.
when they start to recalculate, a lot of almost everybody's recurring payments. So it might be one-off thing. If it shows up next month, it's recurring, and I'm going to know it's like
Right. Okay, well, let me know if you find anything out. And like you said, maybe you should follow up on it.
this is easily that somebody gave her the link to the YouTube, she watched it, and she decided to donate. For what reason, over time, it's just hard to say. How was your trip?
I will see you next year. But then we just did not finish this week.
I owe you.
Okay.
I put it on. Yeah, I'll be back at 24.
Okay.
Wow. It happens. Between COVID and Ukraine, who knows? Right. I get it.
I'm guessing that maybe we've got almost a full house here this morning with the amount of chairs we have. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Is that Chris? Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Also known as Richard. Chris, we've got chairs around. Some up front and some in the back. Okay. For those who weren't here last week, I embarrassed the man by calling him Richard all the time, so I apologize. So, welcome back, Chris. Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We have a few more people filing in, so we're going to begin anyway. I welcome you to our fellowship. My name is Sally Voss, and I want to first off recognize the Confederated Tribes of Kuslo-Armstrong-Sayusla Indians, in particular the Sayusla family of Indians, who inhabited this space far earlier than we can imagine. And it's because of them that we have this wonderful space, the land, we've protected it, the air, the land, the sea, all of it. And so for that, I want to honor the Sayusla Indians, the past generations, the current generation, and 7 generations going forward. Blessed be all of it. So we're going to open the service today, like we always do, right? What's the hymn number?
123.
Hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. The words are in the program, so if you know the melody, you can just follow the words in the program. Julia is going to lead us with Spirit of Life. Stand as you are able. And Julia, take it away.
Spirit of life, come unto me. morning comes, morning set me free. Spirit of mine, come to me, come to me.
Very pretty. Thank you, Julia. So I want to remind everybody, myself included, to turn off your cell phones or put them on silence so we don't interrupt. And remember, unless you're up here in front of the plexiglass at the podium, to please remain fully masked. Regardless of what's going on out there and the laws that are being passed and saying that it's okay, we're going to continue to remain masked. I hope you agree to keep our space nice and safe. After service today, Ruth Miller will host a dialogue circle in the library, followed at 11:30 with her class on natural abundance, talking about Ralph Waldo Emerson's thoughts on the good life. You are all most welcome to join her. And after today's service, Catherine Hemmings is available in the side room for affirmative prayer or private conversation. We welcome you to come visit her as well. Okay? And do we have anybody here for the first time today? Chris is back, returning to us, and we really appreciate that. I think everybody else has been here once or twice before, so thank you for coming back. We really appreciate seeing you. And, all right, so take a moment, 30 seconds. Turn to the person next to you, in front of you, behind you, under you, and just say good morning. Good morning. Good morning from your heart to theirs.
You don't want to go either. How do I change that in mid-stream?
Oh, okay.
All right, did you say hi to somebody you haven't seen in a while? All right, very good, very good. Very good. Also,
You're on 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can't do it while you're streaming.
Knock on their door at midnight and say, hi.
Alright, we'll do it next time. Yeah,
So
I
are
think
there
that's why
any
you're getting
announcements?
that
Well, first of all, I
issue.
want to thank Don Gardner for being here to help meet and greet, as well as Paula Harrison and Pam Gettler, who helped put all that together for our meet and greet this morning. Thank you, all three of you. We really appreciate our volunteers. You know, also, I want you to just give an acknowledgement to Jay Gettler, who's sitting over there in the sound booth, which is a very soundproof. Jay is...
Buttering up will only get you so far.
I can't flatter you. Jay is working diligently to continue to improve our live streaming capabilities, which is something I've been wanting for months and months. So, Jay, I really appreciate what you're doing. Really do. Thank you very, very much. And what else? Any other announcements? Announcements. Mark has an announcement. Deborah has an announcement. We're going to ask that you come to the microphone here at the podium and share your announcement so we can get it on camera. So, Deborah, you might want to come forward. Mark?
All right. I have a face. So I just wanted to say a couple things about last Sunday. We had the interfaith convocation on climate change. We had about 50 people. It was also live streamed. We had Dr. Ruth spoke and Dr. Dean spoke. We had a lot of doctors there. 10 people altogether. And if you missed it, it was recorded, and some of you might have gotten the recording already, but if you do want that, let me know and I can send you the link. Our next event will be for Earth Day, and that's Friday, April 22nd, from 2 to 5 at City Hall. At City Hall. And rumor has it that Tarno the Clown will be there, Lady Liberty, and also Mother Earth will be there. So we have a lot of people in costumes. Make sure you come. We'll take a look at the flyer that's on the table over there. There's a few smaller ones as a reminder to put on your refrigerator, because we want your refrigerators to show up.
This announcement is we have of our ministerial committee. Right now, we are at the time of the year when it's coming up time to renew our memorandums of understanding with our three regular ministers. For those of you who are aware, those people are Dr. Ben Schrock, who speaks on the first Sunday of the month, our wonderful Reverend Dr. Ruth Miller, right here, who is on the second Sundays of the month, and the Reverend Donna Smith is here on the third Sundays. So that has been our schedule, and that means 16 Sundays per year for guest speakers, or 4 Sundays plus any 5th Sundays. So as the ministerial committee is working on this, we've received a couple of proposals that we're contemplating, and we would very, very much appreciate the input of the membership before we make these big decisions. Because we're just a few, and we don't want to assume that our opinions are the same as everybody else's. So you're going to be receiving an email sometime this week with a confidential anonymous survey. I would very much appreciate you taking the time to answer the survey questions and send them back to us. We have received a proposal from our program committee, who works diligently to schedule our local guest speakers, and they would like to have more Sundays available for more guest speakers, which would mean coming back the Sundays for the 3 regular ministers. So the proposal is to have our 3 regular ministers 10 months of the year, and then those other 2 months have more guest speakers. That would increase the guest speakers to 22 per year. So that's the biggest question here. Do you prefer to continue our current schedule with our 3 regular ministers every month, or would you prefer to see more guest speakers at the pulpit in these Sundays? The other question is that we have been 3 regular ministers to hold classes for us, but the attendance of the classes has been less than hoped for. So, yes. So we don't know really if it's the subject matter, if it's the day and time, or if there's just a lack of interest in classes. And so we would also like to feedback about whether we would want classes to continue. I've been crafting this survey on behalf of the ministerial team, and I tested it myself yesterday, and it took me all of 2 minutes. This is a very short survey, okay? But there's plenty of room for you to provide comments that we can then look at. What happens is you take the survey, and it automatically goes to our email confidentially. We get to open it and read what this person has now sent to us. And then we'll compile the results, and we'll have something to use for our June annual meeting, if not beforehand. So really critical that our members and extraordinary friends complete this survey and let us then move forward. Yes? Right. We'll send it out by a BCC email to everybody that we know. Okay? So it won't be a part of the blast, whether it's the blast. I think we don't need to send it to 279, 350 people. We want the people that are here to give us what needs to be taken forward. So thank you for that. Okay, so any other announcements? Any other announcements? Okay. So I have talked actually into coming up and lighting our chalice. She's such a good sport, isn't she? Another volunteer. Yay. 2 in a row. She's getting it. She's getting it. She's going to light the flame in our chalice as I share these words from John Wellwood. In honor of April being National Poetry Month, this poem is titled, Forget About Enlightenment. Sit down wherever you are and listen to the wind singing in your veins. Feel the love, the longing, the fear in your bones. Open your heart to who you are right now, not who you would like to be, Not the saint you are striving to become, but the being right here before you, inside you, around you. All of you is holy. You are already more and less than whatever you can know. Breathe out, touch in, let go. Blessed be. I invite Catherine to come up and share her joys and concerns. We're working on the microphone here, so you should be good. Don't have to touch it. Can you hear me? Yeah. Just standing here like this? Okay, great. This is the time of our service where we share our joys and concerns. We do this for many reasons, to release ourselves from having to sit alone in our grief, to reinforce for ourselves that we are never alone, that reaching out and expressing ourselves is an aspect of creating community, and that joy is an ever-important aspect of healing as any medicine one could find. I have a couple before I call everyone up to line up over here. If anyone, any Science of Mind people here, J. Scott Neal has passed. He was a Science of Mind minister from the earliest days, learning under Fenwick Holmes, Ernest Holmes' brother. I met him a few times. He was funny, kind, and dedicated to his students and congregants, and he lived an extremely full life. And he has passed. So, Michelle for Jay. And Phyllis Coons is in hospice. Now, does anyone know any more about that? Oh, she's no, I heard she was in hospice now. They provide hospice. Got it. All right. Okay. And that's what we know. Okay. Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate it. And just briefly, for those who don't know, and many of you don't, Phyllis was a long-time member of this fellowship, and when her memory started to fail, she stopped cleaning. She used to come every week and clean and set up our coffee and do all of the setup. She took that responsibility as her gift to our fellowship. And when she left and that stopped, we greatly missed the participation. So, because it was such a joy. And when that memory goes and you forget to lock the door on the way out, she understood, we understood, and we've always been very thankful for her gift for the so many years she did that with us. So just know there are people like that in our community who give and give and give, and now maybe we can give that to others. Thank you. Anyone else? Line up over here, and Sally will hand you the microphone. Oh, here we go. Well, we would like to know that we're going to get married. And we have clear food. Yeah. Good job. That's it. Oh, well. Although we'd like to invite everybody here. It's a small wedding, but what we're going to do on the Sunday after, this isn't until mid-July, but on the Sunday after, we're going to bring a cake, and after the service, we're going to ask everybody just to help us celebrate. Put two shells in. Put two shells in. Yeah, these two. One for each and one for both. Okay. Very happy for you both. You deserve all the happiness. Very nice. Anyone else? I'll just share a dovetail on that. Jennifer and I got married, those many years ago, a week after Oregon passed the law for same-sex marriage. And we were here at church that Sunday, and then we convened, and then we got married. So everybody who was in the church already stayed, and then another 50 people came in, and we had a big old wedding, and it was fabulous. So, congratulations. Congratulations. Okay? You got one of the best, let me tell you. So, that's it for today? Yes, okay. So I'll end with one of my favorite metaphysicians, Raymond Charles Barker, affirmed. God loves the world by means of me. And each one of you gives me the opportunity to love the world, and I am very grateful. Blessed be. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we have a responsive reading this morning. It's a short one. It's number 600 in your hymnal. If you could turn to that. It's titled The Space Within. And I propose to read the first line, and then you the second, third, fourth, rotate from there. Does that make sense? 600. This is really kind of fun. I like this one. Thank you, Ruth, for selecting this. The Space Within. 30 spokes share the wheel's hub.
It is the center hole that makes it useful.
Shape clay into a vessel.
It is the space within that makes it useful.
Cut doors and windows for a room.
It is the holes that make it useful.
Therefore, profit comes from what is there, usefulness from what is not there. Okay? So we have an opening song, and it's called Voice, Still and Small. It's number 391 in the hymnal. And we're going to play some music that will have a prelude to it, so you can get the melody. And we'll ask that you rise if you're comfortable. And we're going to sing this song, Voice, Still and Small. And 391, this is the music from the First Unitarian Church of Baltimore. 391. Just wait till they start singing.
Still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, sing. In dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still you remain, sing. Calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, sing. Still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, sing. In dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still you remain, sing. Calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, sing. Small, deep inside all, I hear you call, sing. In dark and rain, sorrow and pain, still you remain, sing. Calming my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, sing.
That's a beautiful song. I forgot we have sung that in the past. It's easy. But thank you, Ruth. She's so remarkable. She selects the readings, she finds the music, she brings her computer so we can play it in here. So thank you very, very much. It is my pleasure to invite Reverend Dr. Ruth Miller back to the podium here as she shares her message titled Awakening on Purpose. Please welcome Ruth Miller.
Okay. A full house. It's been a while. Yeah, it feels really good. Nice and warm and full. We're doing my notes for a certain notes. Yeah. This is Palm Sunday. You never know it. In the Western Christian tradition, this is Palm Sunday, and next Sunday will be Easter, and in the Eastern Christian tradition, the following Sunday will be Easter. So it's a very, very rich time for people who are following the life and works of the man we call Jesus Christ.
Christianity has adopted many, many, many traditions from many, many different cultures over the couple thousand years it's been around. And one of those is what is called the Lenten fast. There's also an Advent fast, but nobody pays attention to that because between Thanksgiving and Christmas and our party, so we ignore that. But the Lenten fast is the subject of one of my favorite films, Chocolat. Yeah. And in the Christian tradition, we don't actually fast. We abstain from certain foods. And the reason for that is because, well, that's what we teach children to do when they can't fast. And well, they never do that. The Lenten fast comes from a whole bunch of different things woven together, as I said, most things in Christianity do. And so I want to step back a little bit into time long before any of the empires really were in existence, and continued for many people through the beginnings of the empire 6,000 years ago. Imagine, if you will, that you live someplace like Minnesota or Maine. You don't have that Maine. Oh, good. Very good. Or any of those places where it's the beginning of February and, well, the birds are gone, the mammals are sleeping, and the fish are under a lot of ice. There's no eggs, unless you've got chickens in the house. And there's just not much food to be acquired. There's nothing growing, it's all under the snow. So you're stretching what you have stored for as long as you can. And the whole thing around Groundhog's Day was really, at that point, the beginning of February, which is also St. Surprise Day, that it's the point where you know whether you're going to have to stretch it through another 6 weeks, or you're going to be able to start gathering food and make it through that. Very important time. Stretching that food out for another 6 weeks, making sure the kids get enough so they'll continue to grow, making sure the sick and the elderly are sort of taking care of it the best you can. 6 weeks, 42 days. 40 days. So it happens that Lent starts 6 weeks prior to the first Sunday after the first of the full moon after the nothing. Which is Easter, by the way, if you've ever wondered what it is. So the church said, this is cool. We'll just make this a spiritual process. This is a cultural necessity for people in the far north, so we'll integrate that in. Now, why they thought they could do that in the church was because it's already written into the Old Testament and to some extent the New Testament that fasting is one of the ways we restore a relationship with the divine. Fasting. Now, in the Hebrew, not mostly, but a little bit, there are stories of people who either stepped off the path or missed the mark or in some way infuriated the Godhead. And the only way to restore that relationship was to cut themselves off from all the goodies of the covenant and go into prayer and in most cases where people did that individually, they did ultimately feel that sense of restoration, and sometimes actually breathe the words It was also done communally. We can see that in the book of Jonah. There's a point where a whole town goes into prayer and fasting, sackcloth and ashes and everything, because they're afraid that God's going to destroy them. And so the whole town communally fasts in order to restore a healthy relationship with the divine powers and all the good. The other kind that in the Hebrew tradition we see fasting per se is the Day of Atonement. Once a year, 10 days after New Year's. 10-minute periods, by the way. The new moon following the 10-minute periods, so closest to it. At Yom Kippur, the day of atonement, people fast for 24 hours. And brides and grooms fast immediately prior to their wedding. They're going without food and often drink in order to reach that place of connection with that divine sense inside and within all. And there's another kind of fast that is the abstinence from particular food that goes on right about now because you cannot impossible. And I don't know if any of you grew up in a Jewish household where everyone had to really clean everything, because there couldn't be a single crumb of leavened bread anywhere in the house except for the one wrapped in a special cloth and hidden so that the husband could find it and the wife could on top of the cleaning house. I don't think that counts. Well, the South Side Chicago Jews like to go. So, that kind of thing of abstaining from leavened bread is officially to honor the fact that the folks who were leaving Egypt in a hurry couldn't take the time to leaven their bread. They had to cook it as flat bread, as matzahs, as we know today. I eat the Ezekiel tortillas, that's my version. So, we have in 2 of the 3 peoples of the book a tradition of going without food to reconnect with the divine. Along about 600 AD, so we've gone from 4,000 BC, 600 AD now, or CE, the common era, there already was a tradition in the Arabic nations, in the Arabic area, of fasting every year for a month that was called Ramadan. Now, Ramadan, the Arabic letters mean scorching. Scorching. It's impossible to eat when it's that hot. You know this. Some of you have been in those parts of the country or those parts of the world, right? Where it gets so hot, all in my family, maybe a little salad, but really. Well, a man named Muhammad, went into a cave, which is what you do in the desert when it is scorching hot. And he did not eat, and he did not drink, and that was normal at that time. During those seasons, that particular season, when you would go and be in the fire, in the cave, and just eat. It wasn't officially a fast, but it was burning the fat. And in 610, after about 12 years of doing this as a result, an amazing thing happened to this man, and the cave lit up with the presence of a divine being that we came to understand was Gabriel, the word Gabriel. And that voice, that presence, spoke internally, not out loud, but internally, and said, recite. Read and recite. Muhammad could not read. Yet he read. He was a camel tender. That's what he did. But his boss, who married him because he was a good person, knew how to read him up. So he would go home at night and he would tell his boss, not his wife, what had happened, and she would write it down, and the daughters would write it down. And so we have today Quran as a result of fasting at Ramadan. Well, last week I was the beginning of Ramadan for this year. And it moves all over the place because the Arabs only follow a lunar calendar. The Jews follow a lunar solar calendar. The Christians, except for Easter, follow a solar calendar. And the Arabs follow a lunar calendar. And so Ramadan is all over the solar calendar. And right now, it's happening They're over 2 billion. It is amazing. And so their fast is not completely going with that. It's sunrise to sunset. So right before dawn they have a meal, and after sunset they have a meal. And in between times they, right after the morning meal and before the second the evening meal, we do 5 different prayers over the course of the day. And then after the evening meal, we recite Quran, verse by verse. And the goal is over the course of Ramadan to have recited the whole thing. And the goal behind that, the purpose of all of this, is to reconnect with the divine. Except, going without the food and the water doesn't appear to be sufficient to make the reconnection. And we see in the book Isaiah, in what the Christians call the Old Testament, in the Hebrews called the prophet Isaiah says, I was praying and I was fasting and I got told, this is the fast that I want, that you take care of each other and that you love each other and that you do good things for each other and that you make sure the homeless have a home and that you make sure that if you have extra food you share it, etc. That's in Isaiah. That's the prophet telling the people it's not sufficient to just go with God. It's necessary to care for. But this is the fast the divine really looks for that sense of reconnection. When I was growing up, I started out in eternity, but I have to say I walked away from many times. I wanted to understand something about what it was about. And it wasn't learning that. I was learning more science and art. And I got that at home. So I walked away. And then I spent my summers on a farm and they were Lutherans. So I learned Jesus loves me and a few other things. And then I got to middle school and I liked to sing and a friend said, hey, I'm going to call you. I want to sing. And it was Baptist. My mother was not happy. So when we moved, she says, this time I'm choosing Baptist. It was Presbyterian. And then I went to college, and my roommate was Catholic, and my aunt and uncle were Jewish. It was great fun. And I did learn a lot about this when we come back. And during those years, one of the things that we were encouraged to do during Lent was to set aside some funds for special charities, special giving, special whatever. So, as children, we didn't fast, we were encouraged to abstain from our favorite food, which right? But we were also encouraged to find a way to share our surplus. And we used to trick or treat to UNICEF, right? We did that in the springtime too. All those kinds of things that were opportunities for the kids to contribute to the world out there. And as I grew older, more churches did more other things, and I love that we've got so many things we're giving right here. Our blast is, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this now. But that's the reality. Something needs to fast in the sense of going without food. Well, that brings me to the current diet fad. Who's intermittent fasting? Okay. Not everyone knows about this. The idea is that most of us were taught we're supposed to eat 3 meals a day, and some of us were taught we're supposed to have 2 snacks on top of that. We're supposed to be eating all the time, basically, is what we've been taught. Well, it turns out the body doesn't really like that. The body wants a rest now and then. And different people have different needs, but I now have several friends and clients and students who have turned around with diabetes, arthritis, things like this, by shifting to a diet that has very little in the way of starches and sugars, but they're only eating basically between noon and 6 p.m. Some people shift that up to about 4, 11, 10, whatever, but there's 11 and 5. But basically they're trying to give their body an 18-hour rest every day, and sometimes those are what they eat. So that's the bonus hours for 36 hours. And they're having profound effects. Which gets me to the Hindu and Buddhist tradition of fasting. In that tradition, fasting is a way to heal the body. Going inside is how you connect with the divine and serve others. So the fasting is not the mechanism. The fasting is something that is good for life. Now, if you think about it, back before all those people were storing their food in those winters, people would only eat when they found food. And that might be a couple of days before they found more than, something that they could have as broth or sweet. Mm-hmm. So the bodies are used to going for a couple of days, historically, genetically. That doesn't mean they are culturally. So I'm not a doctor in that sense, so please do not say, Ruth says I should fast. But something to be aware of is maybe if we use this opportunity to say, I don't have to be driven by the cultural norm of feeding my face all day, or being focused on material things all day, or being out and doing whatever all day and all night. I can turn away from it. I can go inside. I can focus on those things which are just a little bit beyond the cultural norm of materialism. I can shift away from the material and into the spirit. I can bring body, mind, emotions, heart, beingness all into one. And I've noticed an interesting thing happens when I do that. I'm not hungry. Fasting is the outcome of going to the spirit. Isn't it? So, all of these things, all of these spiritual practices, in all of these traditions, are designed to help us feel that alignment with the all is. And in that state, we are what is called awake. And that's what Buddha means. And there are many Buddhas. There is not just that one. And Siddhartha is one of them. There are many, many, many Buddhas. People who are in awake. And then, by going inside and turning away from the cultural norms, to break the trance. We call it being in a trance when we go inside. But no, this is the trance. We go inside to break the trance of the norm. And then I brought in some books. I was reading books. But today I brought in 2 books by a woman named Andrea Kuhn. Her wife died a couple of years back, and so she's been struggling. But these books, one is called Awakening, and it is her journey to breaking out of the cultural trance. And the other one is called Wake Up. Our old beliefs don't work anymore. And our little company, Horizontal Press, was able to publish these books, and so I got them a few copies. If you are looking for someone else's journey, if you are looking for some ideas about what you could do that might work, those books might be useful. There are also many wonderful books and YouTubes out there about intermittent fasting. There is some marvelous stuff, of course, in the Buddhist tradition. Someone asked me the last time I talked about fasting if it was possible to go anywhere and receive the training that you need for an extended fast. For example, 40 days under the Buddha Bodhi tree, Buddha, or in the wilderness, like Jesus, don't do it without the training. Don't even try. Because you will simply make yourself sick. You don't want to do that. So get the training. And how do you get the training? You want to work with someone who's done it, right? There are many people in the Buddhist tradition and in the Hindu tradition who are capable of doing that. You can go to ashrams in many places in the world. And there is a Vipassana retreat center in Woodland, Washington, where you go for 10 days in the silence. You get to talk to your spiritual director, you know how to say, and you eat 1 meal a day. After that, you can go up for 2 or 3 days anytime, but you have to go 10 days at least. So there are ways that you can ease into some of these processes. And I strongly recommend it. If you never have experienced the cleansing of not digesting food for a while, it is pretty impressive. Again, do it with medical support or the proper training. Strongly recommend it. To awaken the inner being by bringing ourselves into alignment, to awaken to the idol, which is one with the inner. It's all one. You know, the first 3 years I was here, we did it automatically. Then we did it for almost 10 years without, so I'm having to do that. All right. So, we're going to take another long, slowly breath. Simply to relax into it. And as you relax in the body, you allow any ideas to simply slip away. As you focus on the breathing, and you are aware of this release. You open all the ways in this space now. Simply being present here in this moment. Allowing the deeper wisdom of knowing you. Thank you, Ruth. And thank you to the delightful and fingers playing on that guitar so sweetly. Very much appreciated. Thank you. So again, we invite everyone to join Ruth in the library when we're finished. We'll do her class on natural abundance, and also the Island Circle about today's message. And I got quite a bit, and it's got a lot of notes here. So this is good. This is good. Thank you. Thank you. Today's offering begins with words from Caleb Parker. We know that our financial contributions to this congregation come from sacrifice and often very hard work. We are so grateful for this and commit together to ensure the funds we gather collectively do a greater good for ourselves and our world than they could have been done alone. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this congregation. Our words on the front of the program explain and detail who we are. May we give in love and in hope. Our community basket is divided into thirds. Okay, on one side is for our fellowship. On the other side is for Florence Food Share. The money we raise for them helps to keep their pantry full for those who come in and need some sustenance. In the middle is probably the last week we're going to be collecting for our friends in Poland. These are UUers, thanks to Ray, who are collecting money from around the world to stock their pantry for the refugees who are fleeing Ukraine into Poland. So if you'd like to give to that particular relief fund, that is in the middle. Generosity is one of the spiritual values we recognize as central to our personal and institutional well-being. I know I felt great when I gave Pam earlier the final check of our pledge payment of support for this fiscal year. It just feels good to do that. You are now invited to participate in a blessing of giving. Please remember that all our lives we are in need, and others are in need of us. If you're watching this virtually, I invite you to share your generosity through sending us a check if you like. Mail to Ruth, mail to P.O. Box 2502, Florence 97439. You can designate where you would like those funds to go, either to Food Share or to friends in Ukraine. And you can also go on our website at any time, okay? Morning, noon, and night, 24/7, shall we say. Click on the donate button and do the same thing. We really appreciate that. I'm going to ask if we could, who we got here? Tom, would you help? I'm recognizing faces. Tom's going to help on this side. Ray's going to help on this side. We're going to pass the basket. And to accept the gifts of the congregation, I wish to acknowledge that if you are not in a position to contribute today, please accept the basket and then pass it to the next person with love. And before we enjoy the music provided by Julia, please repeat after me. Divine love through me.
Divine love through me.
Blesses and multiplies all that I am.
Blesses and multiplies all that I am.
All that I give.
All that I give.
And all that I receive.
And all that I receive.
I am prosperous now.
I am prosperous now.
Yes, indeed.
Blessed indeed.
So, we've got little markers here for you, okay? So, in
There's a little bit of a whistle on the Sally mic. There's a little bit of a whistle on Sally's mic.
We're trying to mess with the game to get it to work on this side. It's not working.
Oh well.
God bless you. Thank you. We thank you all for your spiritual practice of giving and loving, your contributions and love are receiving grateful appreciation. Actually, would you like to help extinguish this flame? You would. I knew you would. The following comes from Cynthia Landrum, titled Be True, Be Well, Be Loving. We leave this gathered community, but we don't leave our connection, our concerns, and our care for each other. Our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith continues. Until we are together again, friends, be strong, be well, be true, be loving. We're going to conclude with our peace song. The words are on the back. Tuvia will lead us through this. We ask that you form a big circle around the chairs. Holding hands or locking arms is optional. Please don't feel you have to do that, but some people just can't resist. So if you want to hold hands, that's great. If you don't, just respectful of your time. We'll sing the peace song, and then hopefully you will stay around and gather in community, either in this great room or go to the library and enjoy a good conversation with Ruth Miller. So are you ready, Julia? The peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With love as our center, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step step by take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.